everybody. Welcome to Faith Walk with Alicia. So I have a new book for you today. This is by Charles Metcalf, and it is called God Chose Me. It just came out, and this is his first book that he's ever written. The bottom says, Untouchable Confidence for the Unstoppable Christian. And the foreword is written by Michael Todd, who is a known author and also his best friend. So let me talk about a little bit about what the book is about. So it's a book that aims to empower the readers with untouchable confidence for an unstoppable faith. It reveals the profound truth that God specifically chose them. Metcalf is a pastor at Transformation Church, and he uses a blend of powerful insights and authentic, relatable stories to unpack impacts of these three simple words: God chose me. The core message of the book revolves around helping individuals overcome self-doubt, fear, feelings of inadequacy by embracing their divine identity and purpose. You can revolutionize your life by understanding you were chosen by God, by eliminating the power of rejection and fear, enabling an audaciously bold life, and building meaningful life-giving relationships, and recovering from setbacks and finding renewed purposes. These are practical tools and spiritual wisdom that he gives us in this book. There's also a study guide, but I didn't purchase that one. I wanted to read through the book, especially since this is his first one. I wasn't quite sure if I would enjoy it or not. But he encourages readers to move from insecurity to a place of resting in God's love and living authentically and confidently, stepping out into the bold purpose that we're created for. And the book emphasizes that God's choice is not a mistake, and even challenging experiences can be part of a larger, divinely orchestrated story. So let's take a look at the book. It is around about 200 pages. So we'll take a look at also, oh, by the way, on the back of the jacket are different pictures of him. And in the book, he describes what each one of those pictures represents. So that is really cool that he thought about doing that and about putting different pictures and what those different pictures mean. I thought that was really neat. So we'll take a look at the contents. So there are 16 chapters, and the first 8 are there. So he talks about you are loved at your lowest. This is what God does. The unstoppable movement. He knows you and he still chose you. The reject effect. A singular symphony. You'd be surprised what a little belief can do, and better watch your words. And then after that, he does what he calls is a book break for slow readers like me. And I got a kick out of that because I myself am a slow reader. I like to take things in, and so sometimes I kind of read and reread a few things or a couple sentences, stuff like that. I also like to highlight and things. But in the book break, he will show you, this is kind of the foundation of the book. So he's got what he calls 6 anchors and 7 attitudes. So the anchors are chosen, known, loved, accepted, belief, confession. And the attitudes are ready, ridiculous, reverent, resilient, remember, relationships, and rebuild. So what I do is I just started this little book. Actually, I got a bunch of these little thin notebooks. I don't remember. I think I might have got them at Hobby Lobby, actually. And I decided to make this into a kind of a book review journal, I guess you could say. And so what I did was I put this on here, God Chose Me, and I put some notes on there. And so I took a couple pages to make some notes for myself. I also highlighted a lot of things in the book, and I did dog ear. I don't normally do that, but I was like, you know what, it's a really good book. I might come back and want to look things up or reread it. It did read it for me fairly quickly. It took me maybe like 2 days over hours or whatever to read it. I was very intrigued by it. I will say this, that he does use a lot of his own life stories to illustrate his points, but he also backs those up with scripture. So just to take a look at a little bit of the first half of the book, which is chapters 1 through 8. In the section of You Are Worth It, it says, "You are worthy of being chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you are a person. And you're not just any person, you are His. God is madly in love with you, and He has a plan for your life. No matter how dark it may seem, no matter how far gone you may feel, there is no place God will not go to find those He loves. He specializes in finding, choosing, and restoring those who are lost." So I really loved that. I had that marked. He also says later, "You are loved where you are, who you are, and how you are." So in the chapter, The Reject Effect, I had a lot of things highlighted in here. One of the things he said was the seed of rejection in the soil of insecurity always produces the fruit of the fake you. I really, really liked that. I thought that was really good. So I'll just read a quick excerpt out of that. "What started as a small thought, we now water with our insecurities and experiences. We reinforce it with our negative self-talk, and before long we have completely manipulated our mind into the darkest and most unsafe place. We constantly tear ourselves down. We remind ourselves how unqualified and unimportant we are. If we are honest, the issue does not lie in the pain of what others have said, but in what we have allowed to grow. And when we give space to these negative thoughts and emotions, there's always a cost." Isn't that like so profound? I just loved it. So in one section, it's called "My Dirt is on Display." He says, "This is a picture of what a believer's life should be. Instead of hiding and pretending to be perfect, we should let our lives be a hall of fails, not the hall of fame." I thought that was really good. It's just great the way that he brings the topics out and just really relates to people. I just felt it was so relatable. He does talk about like Job and David and others and scripture throughout this whole thing. So it is completely backed up by scripture, and you can take it for what it's worth, or maybe you're not interested in that, but I just thought it was great. The other thing he had in here was humility. It says, "Humility is the alphabet out of which every other virtue is formed and built up. It is the soil of the garden of the soul, the good ground on which the divine sower goes forth to sow his seed." And that's from a book called Humility of Heart. And I will butcher the name if I say it, so I'll just put it on the screen for you guys. But I really loved that saying, so that was great. All right, so chapter 9 through 16. "Ready when you are. I'm not afraid to live. He chose me. Get up, Donnie. All I need is a memory. My friend saved my life. It's never too late to come home." And Untouchable. He does also have a letter to himself in the back. It's kind of like, if you ever heard the song "Dear Younger Me" by Mercy Me, where he kind of is talking to his younger self. It's a letter like that, which is kind of cool. So this would be after the break that I showed you. He did that little break. And then we have chapter 9 through 16. So in his section, "I'm not afraid to live," just a quick couple of examples and excerpts here. "When you truly believe that you have been chosen by God, there is a security that envelops your soul and begins to ignite a trust in Him that does not look for the safest route." In the section, "He chose me," it says, "Whenever we find ourselves stuck in shame and insecurity, focusing on our own issues, we shrink ourselves, and shrinking causes us to retreat and hide beneath things that ultimately cannot protect us." So in chapter 14, it's called "My Friend Saved My Life." And basically what he talks about there is he talks about how different people have come and gone into his life. He moved around a lot as he was growing up. And so he didn't really want to put himself out there basically because he was always moving around. So he has this section that talks about his friends that saved his life. And he says, in addition to Jesus' example, I am reminded of the scripture that says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. That's in Ecclesiastes 4:12. This scripture speaks to the multiplication of impact when we support one another. If we want to be unstoppable, we cannot do it alone. We must find faithful friends to fight with us and for us. He also has a section in here that says, to find a friend, be a friend. So he says, some of you may be discouraged as you read this chapter. Maybe you thought, I don't have friends like that, because he goes through and talks about some really close friends and things, people who have really done really great things for him. He says, if you have never had the joys of experiencing a real friend, I am so sorry. However, I encourage you to be the friend you so desperately need. So I really loved that section. I mean, I loved the whole book, but I really liked that section for sure. So in the It's Never Too Late to Come Home section, just another excerpt out of there. Regardless of what man does, God is still good. God is kind. God is gracious. God is loving. God is accepting. God is holy. God cares about you and the pain you're experiencing. And no matter what people have told you, no matter who has abandoned you, and no matter how they've misrepresented his love, do not allow the mistakes of people to rob you of living in your true home, the one place you truly belong. So when he talks about home, he talks about coming to Jesus. He's not talking about, going back to your house or whatever, but that's what he's talking about in that section. And then at the end, chapter 16, it's called Untouchable, but he talks a little bit about how he hopes the book changes you, whether it changes you or not, but he talks a little bit about that. He also talks about the only answer to every question. Why is this happening? God chose me. Am I going to make it? Yes, God chose me. How am I going to make it? God chose me. Can I do this? God chose me. So he goes through all of that. And then, of course, at the end, he does his little letter to himself. So this is actually the book without the wrapper on it. So anyway, I really, really enjoyed the book. I will be doing a video on some of my favorite books and going through some of those and showing you guys some of the ones that I really enjoy and giving you a little bit of a overview of those books as well. But again, I did really enjoy this book. If you are interested in it, please pick it up. They do have it in audiobook as well. I am a true audiobook person. Just that whenever I get a book like this, I like to, this one I did dog ear, but I like to highlight and make notes and things like that. And so, I don't know, I just don't like to do that, even with like an ebook. And if I'm listening to it, I feel like I don't kind of get all of it, and then I can't really just like turn the page back. So that's just me. But it is available, ebook, just your hardback. I think it just came out, so I don't think it's in soft yet. I couldn't find it at my library either, to be honest. And then you also have your audiobook as well. So it is out there. It's available. I got mine on Amazon, and I want to say it was $16 or $17. The jacket has 26 bucks on it. So, but again, I thought it was really great. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. If you do read it, please leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought of it. If you liked it, didn't like it. I'm definitely looking forward to another book by him. He says he's working on another one, so that'll be really interesting to see. And I really liked it, so I'll put him on my favorite authors list. Also, if you have some favorite authors, throw those in the comments. Would love to hear what you guys say. I'd like to pick up a book maybe if you recommend it and check it out. Thanks again for spending the time. This is my new channel, so I really appreciate it if everybody would like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Make sure to comment, and thanks for spending the time with me.